Hello, John Quest here. This is a story about a true, unbelievable, but true fact that I found a crashed UFO, and it's probably still there to this day. Basically, my family and I go to the lake all the time when we lived in New Mexico in 1995. We would go there and play on the boats and jet skis like every other weekender out there. And that's my wife, Sandy. And basically, we would wind up packing up late on the weekends and getting back in time to work on Monday. Well, one early morning, Monday morning, about 1 a.m., I'm driving back. The kids are asleep, Sandy's asleep, and I'm driving my truck over the San Andreas Mountains, which is between Las Cruces and the White Sands Missile Range, which is right there in the White Sands Basin there. And all that area is government military test areas and whatnot. Anyways, to my surprise, when I got to the bottom of the mountain, there was two UFOs floating off to the left-hand side of the road. They were about 100 feet off the road, about 50 feet up in the air. And I was in shock. I pulled over and I woke Sandy up, and we both watched them for about 3 or 4 minutes, and they were maneuvering around, not making any noise. And then all of a sudden, they took off. They glowed real bright and then took off and were gone. And 15 seconds later, two F-16s came scrambling right over our heads. This is a representation. I tried to get my camera working. I couldn't, but this is exactly what they looked like. These are some other UFOs I photographed one time, but this is a representation of exactly what we saw. Anyways, this is the top secret site that sits there right out, just north of Highway 70 there. And it has all these signs saying, "Do not enter, hazardous test area, warning, no photographs, and RF frequency hazard," and all this other stuff. So they're doing some intense testing up in here with what? I don't know. I wanted to know why these objects would have been there. I thought maybe they were interested in something the government was doing, if these were alien beings or whatever. I don't know. I can't prove that. But anyways, so I decided to research this site a little bit, as much as I could anyways. I wasn't going to hop the fence and go in there because I didn't think that that would be a wise decision. Anyways, so I got a hold of this documentary called Roswell Startling New Evidence. And they have a guy named David Rudiak who was able to decipher this memo that Ramey was holding in his hand when he was showing the balloon evidence. And basically, according to witnesses, there was actually two crash sites. One was northwest, and one was northeast, and the other one was southwest. And in this memo, it says the other find was southwest of the cordon. And according to some witnesses, this site had an intact disc and some survivors of the crash. And so basically, I started thinking. I thought, well, geez, this location where these UFOs I saw were southwest of the cordon. And so I decided to try to research this top secret base there a little better. And I thought to myself, well, if you had a UFO crash on your military site, your military test site that was already secured, well, then you probably wouldn't have to move it or anything. You could let it sit right there and just back engineer it. So if this was the second crash site of Roswell from 1947, here's the cordon. It's actually southwest here, and the other crash site was northeast from here. So this fits the description. Here's what they say the crash site looked like. And basically, I decided to get some satellite imagery of that site where I saw the UFOs, and I was totally shocked at what I found. Basically, here's the location where it is on the satellite imagery with the longitude and latitude. And when you look at this close-up picture, you're shocked. Right there, there's a crash disk in the back of this hill, on the backside of this hill, with all these roads and rough terrain going to it and stuff. I couldn't believe it. It's sitting there as obvious as all heck, and it's at this same location here to this day. And I just wish the military would let us in there to go look at it. But there's the disc that I found, and it is a crash disc on the backside of this hill. You can see they've been working on it. They've got guards around it and everything, so it's something. This is John Quest signing off. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.